This is BAWLER. Hello, I have prepared an important and interesting video for you. Subscribe and write in the comments what you think about it. The recent raid in the Black Sea was not just a tactical victory, but a masterclass in modern warfare planning. Ukrainian drones operated in perfect coordination with ground forces, executing a synchronized assault unlike anything seen before in this war. The precision and speed of the operation left Russian positions on a strategically important island completely devastated. By the time the battle ended, Ukraine's soldiers had planted their national flag on soil that had been under Russian control for almost the entire duration of the conflict, sending a clear signal of defiance and resilience. This was no ordinary mission. It was a high-stakes amphibious strike carried out by some of Ukraine's most skilled warriors. The Artan unit, in an operation that will be studied for years, destroyed a Russian radar installation that had been serving as the enemy's eyes over a vast section of the Black Sea. This bold move shook Vladimir Putin's forces to their core. The operation's details emerged on August 5th, originating from the Kherson region, the very place where Putin's invading army first seized a major Ukrainian city back in the early days of the war. Though Kherson itself was later liberated through a brilliant counteroffensive, the surrounding oblast remains fiercely contested, with Russia relentlessly trying to regain full control. Yet this latest strike didn't take place in the city itself. Instead, it unfolded on the Tendrivska Spit, a long, narrow strip of land off the coast of Kherson that Russia had been using as a key surveillance and control point for much of the war. From here, the Kremlin's forces could track Ukrainian seaborne drones, detect incoming aircraft, and monitor naval operations. For Ukraine, the destruction of this radar hub was an obvious and urgent objective. The challenge, however, was enormous. How to get close enough to destroy these radars without being detected by them in the first place? The answer came in the form of the Artan unit, one of Ukraine's most elite special forces detachments under the Defense Intelligence of Ukraine, or SURE. Formed on June 1, 2022, the unit is composed entirely of volunteers, between 500 and 1,500 highly trained soldiers, many with athletic or special operations backgrounds. Every recruit understands the risks. They sign up knowing they'll be deployed on some of the most dangerous missions Ukraine undertakes. The Artan unit lives by its motto, "We know, we find, we destroy." Over the course of the war, they have become a nightmare for Russian Black Sea operations, hitting the enemy's most valuable equipment and fortifications. They first drew widespread attention in September 2023 when they executed a daring mission to recapture the Petrohodovanet oil drilling platform and other Ukrainian rigs seized by Russia. Just months later, in November, they hinted at targeting the Kerch Bridge, a critical link between mainland Russia and occupied Crimea. Since then, several attacks have struck the bridge, including a devastating underwater strike on June 3, 2024, which many believe bore the Artan unit's signature planning. August 5th, the Artan unit undertook what could be considered its most complex and high-profile operation yet. Moving in under the cover of stealth, they approached the Tendrivska Spit aboard specially outfitted rubber boats, equipped with advanced radars, electronic warfare systems to jam enemy signals, and heavy machine guns for defense if needed. Their approach went completely undetected, a testament to both their preparation and Russia's overconfidence. When they landed, they found the shoreline fortifications abandoned, an early sign of just how complacent the defenders had become. The soldiers advanced inland but then halted, waiting patiently for nightfall. Once darkness cloaked the battlefield, they activated night vision equipment and moved silently toward their primary objectives, the Zont electronic warfare system and the Rosa radar installation. The Zont was taken out first, stripping the radar of its protective cover. Minutes later, the Rosa radar, a critical component in Russia's Black Sea surveillance network, was reduced to a burning wreck. Overhead, Artan's FPV drones provided live reconnaissance, ensuring there were no surprises from Russian reinforcements. In a symbolic gesture, the team planted a Ukrainian flag at the site alongside a message, "Glory to Ukraine." This was not a spur-of-the-moment strike. In the weeks leading up to the assault, Ukraine had been systematically targeting smaller radar outposts around the area. These outposts acted like amplifiers for the main radar, giving Russia broader coverage. By eliminating them one by one, Ukraine slowly blinded the enemy and created a corridor of approach to the Tendrivska Spit. Many of these outposts were located on narrow land strips or isolated islets, making them hard to supply. A weakness Ukraine exploited by also attacking the boats that ferried in Russian reinforcements and supplies. Russia failed to see the pattern, assuming each attack was an isolated incident. This complacency is emblematic of Putin's broader approach to the war, relying on brute force and sheer numbers rather than adaptable strategy. While Russia can seize territory through relentless attrition, it often leaves gaping holes in its defenses, which Ukrainian forces, especially elite units like Artan, are quick to exploit. The destruction of the Tendrivska Spit radar cost Russia millions of dollars in lost equipment and erased one of its key Black Sea surveillance capabilities. More importantly, it set a precedent. Ukraine can conduct amphibious raids deep into contested waters and return unscathed. With the Russian Black Sea fleet now weakened and pushed out of range by earlier Ukrainian missile and drone strikes, such operations are only becoming more feasible. For Ukraine, the ultimate goal is not just isolated victories, but complete control over the Black Sea. That control would pave the way for something even bigger: the eventual liberation of Crimea, annexed illegally by Russia in 2014. As President Volodymyr Zelensky has made clear, Ukraine will never concede Crimea, and operations like the one on the Tendrivska Spit bring that day closer. This raid was not just a tactical triumph, it was a strategic message. Ukraine is watching, planning, and striking where Russia least expects it.